we as ladies, I think we should normalize asking ourselves, what do we offer in this relationship? It's not just I love you. Saying I love you all the time is like a national anthem to all women. Other than that, let's normalize a quality conversation other than a quantity conversation. A lot of women really have nothing to offer in a relationship. This is one thing that is lacking in a society. When you have something to offer, you see that the man, wherever he is, he will still find his way running back to talk with you. He will be longing to speak with you. He will be longing to have a conversation with you, comfortable with you, knowing fully well that you have something to offer. What I'm about to say today will help you to keep your relationship strong and see a meaningful result if you practice it, and then you will see a good result at the end. So stay tuned. There are two types of long distance relationship. The number one is people who are already in real life, who are dating, who has already been with each other, but for some reason, some circumstances, maybe work related or some things, they got separated and then they continued in long distance. And number two is people who have never met, who met on the internet dating app, people who has never met before and hoping to close the distance. As someone who was in 2 years long distance relationship, the tips I'm going to give you today will help you spice up your long distance relationship as well as seeing a great result to the end. But before we do that, hi, I am Chess. If you're seeing my face for the first time, I am Nigerian Italian YouTuber based here in Italy. Please hit the subscribe button to join us. And if you're a returning subscriber, hi love, welcome back and thanks for coming back to this channel. Let's dive to today's video. The first thing I want to say now, I feel like is the foundation of the whole thing, because when the foundation is not solid, the building will collapse. That is how it is in relationship. When the foundation of the relationship is not strong, whatever you're building and whatever tips I'm going to give you to spice up your long distance relationship, I think is not going to work if the beginning is not solid. So that takes us to number one today. The number one we have today is communication. Not just communication, not just talking, but quality communication. What do you have to offer in this relationship? I feel like once you start a long distance relationship, one of the things that keep it strong is the quality time you spend talking. Not just talking, but quality conversation. What do you have to offer in this relationship? What kind of topics do you see yourself discussing? What kind of topics do you discuss? Because just like I said before, I have spent 2 years in long distance relationship, and it requires a lot of talking, because literally you talk every day and you talk hours, and there are times where you run out of topics, you run out of things to talk. But what makes it unique is you involving yourself, you knowing what to say at the perfect time and how to switch to another conversation entirely. So I think communication helps a lot, is the root of a successful long distance relationship. You have to learn how to engage your partner in a reasonable conversation. It's not just what do this man have to offer, but what do you have to offer? What do you have to bring on the table? We as ladies, I think we should normalize asking ourselves, what do we offer in this relationship? It's not just I love you. Saying I love you all the time is like a national anthem to all women. But other than that, let's normalize a quality conversation other than a quantity conversation. You have to engage your partner, because this is a journey whereby both of you are taking your life on the phone, which means what you have to offer to this guy to keep him going, keep him wanting to see you more, wanting to talk to you more, wanting to have you more. One is just quality communication. A lot of women really have nothing to offer in a relationship, and this is really bad, because this is one thing that is lacking in a society. I used to know someone back then in Nigeria, and each time this person comes close to me, I have time for pleasure. I have time to talk about real thing, important thing when I want. So This girl, each time she comes around me and then we have conversation, the only thing I can pick up is just man and woman talk. I don't want to be so raw here because on YouTube has made some point that we cannot say some things verbally, you understand? So the thing I hear from her is a certain word which has to do with, some sexually discussed part, and in my head I'm like thinking, what does this girl offer? Even when I'm talking about business or how profitable some things can be to us, she have nothing. She literally have nothing to contribute. And I always thought of, how does she cope with her man? What does she offer in her relationship other than this? And believe me, if I'm a guy and I'm listening to one thing same thing every time, I will get bored. So I want someone who engage me with a meaningful conversation. And back then also, when I was on dating sites searching, one thing I picked, because I think a lot of people has made it like, make it look like is the guys that accept ladies. No, sometimes you as a lady, not sometimes, you have to choose your partner. You have to choose who you're spending the rest of your life with. And that is one thing that differentiates my husband from every other guys that I chatted, because I met a lot of people, but I was able to choose from those people I met. And believe me, I met really nice people, but the conversation, if I'm going like this, they are going like that. And I try to think that these are not the people I want to build my life with. These are not the kind of conversation I want to engage myself with in the future. And that is where my husband comes, because I feel like we clicked so well that each time we converse is a meaningful conversation that lives somewhere other than the sexual talk. What do you have to offer in a relationship? Can your man go out and be excited to hear from you, even having a busy days? Can your man, who you have never met or who is thousand away apart from you, feel excited to come back and talk with you? These are the points. When you are educated, when you have something to offer, you see that the man, wherever he is, he will still find his way running back to talk with you. He will be longing to speak with you. He will be longing to have a conversation with you. That is the first step. When you're engaging him with a meaningful conversation, he feels safe. He feels at home with you. He feels comfortable with you, knowing fully well that you have something to offer. So I just wish you all can learn how to engage in a meaningful conversation. So moving on to number 2, planning a date together. Yes, you heard me. Art or sight is not art of mind at all. Though you guys are not together, but I'm here to tell you that you can do things as well as people who are together, such as remembering the day you guys met and celebrating each day together. Every time should be like a celebration to you. I remember when I was in a long distance relationship with my husband, and then we would remember the dates. Every 21st of May we celebrate. But now I'm not telling you to do it like we did. You can celebrate. There are people who celebrate every month, which happens to be like every month of that particular date you guys met. You can plan like a date, do something different, celebrate every moment. Like, is 1 month anniversary, let's celebrate. Is 2 months anniversary, let's celebrate. Do something together. Celebrating doesn't have to be you have to do party, you have to do this. It can be little, just for you and your partner. Of course, it has to be virtual, it has to be on the phone. Put up a camera, call him, and then sharing to the love life, sharing to the relationship, sharing how big or how far you guys have come up. 1 month of successful relationship, 2 months of successful relationship, 5 months, 1 year. Stuff like that can bring relationship close, because you are sharing the moment, you are creating memories. So I think planning a date is one thing you have to do. You don't have to spend in order to plan a date. Be a bottle of wine or maybe a drink, Coca-Cola, whatever you have. Say good things, how well you've seen this relationship go, how beautiful it has been. Just things like that while you watch each other and cheers on the camera, I think you are creating memory together, and that is a good thing. Moving on to the next point. The next point I have in a way to spice up your relationship is planning stuff together. You are not in the same place, but you can do a lot of things together. Okay, don't let the distance limit you. Don't make your relationship boring, darling. Don't make it boring. You can do the things people are doing when they're together. Okay, don't let anything stop you. Now you have to plan things together. What do I mean by this? You have to plan, let's example, like movie night. They have Netflix. You can ask your partner, have you watched this kind of movie? What do you think if we watch it? Create out time and suggest movie for each other, and you people agree on a particular movie and you watch it. While you're watching it, you're sharing the moment on a video call and all of that. Or another good example of this is like jogging. Pick up a day, maybe Saturday evening or Saturday morning or Sunday. Suggest to your partner, what do you think, let's go walk or jog together. You can walk together while talking. It must not necessarily mean video call. I did this with my partner. Maybe we can be on call together. I have my earphone, we could jog together, and you have your earphone. The other person is jogging in that area, you are jogging in your own space. And when you get to a point, when you already gotten to the point where it's like 3 miles or 2 miles, and then you get back, and that is doing something together. Another good example is cooking. You can initiate cooking. Just suggest something. What do you think if we try cooking together? Let's try some Italian dish, or let's try some Mexican food, stuff like that. And then initiate it, and you try to get the ingredients, you try to get what you guys need as you're buying, you're shopping, and he is shopping also. Once you finish, you get home, you bring it out, and then you start the video call and start cooking. As well as he can cook his own meal differently, you can cook your own meal differently. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will cook same thing. Cook whatever you have, let him cook whatever he has. If it's African food you want to cook, or he want to cook any food, just do it together, but make sure you are doing some things together. Another way to spice up your long distance relationship is by exchanging the gift. Gift exchange has so much to bond together. Don't get me wrong, when I say gift, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to break the bank to get a gift. Gifts like a personal things, gifting this person your personal belongings, can have a lot of huge impact in your relationship. Sometimes I value personal belongings more than getting a real thing. When I was in long distance relationship, because I always use myself as an example, because this is something I have lived, this is something I went through. I'm not just reading from somewhere, but sharing some of the tips I have experienced. So during my long distance relationship, my man, which happens to be my husband now, had shared and sent me a lot of gifts, which I did some video about. If you haven't watched it, make sure you watch it. It's one of my old videos. I did some unboxing. He sent a lot of things, but beside those things he sent a particular thing which I value so well, which is his t-shirt. I will tell you that the phones, the laptop, the gift, the cash he sent, I will tell you that I valued the t-shirts, his personal t-shirt, more than those things. Let me explain why. When we were in long distance relationship, I want to, if there is anything I desire, I want to feel this guy, I want to feel him, I want to be close to him, I want to know how he smells, I want to know what it's like to be with this guy, okay? And I can just do that on the phone, and I can do that in real life. So I requested for his t-shirt. I requested for something of his that I can have. So he sent his t-shirt, and all the time I could put it on, and then I could smell it. Not just sending his t-shirt, he put his perfume, his cologne that he wears all the time. So when I receive it, I all the time I always put it on my nose. When I'm missing him, I wear this t-shirt and I have it all over, wrapped around on my face, on my nose. And I was like, oh, okay, this guy smells so heavenly. And I could always wear this t-shirt and I feel special. Like, when you wear something that belongs to your man, I could always wear his t-shirt and feel like, okay, I'm wearing my man t-shirt, and I felt close. I felt him closer. I felt like he was there with me. So these are the things. Same thing happened, and he requested for my perfume, and I have to spray it on little towel to tell you that you must not break your bank in order to gift your man something. Guess what I gifted him? A little towel, and then I had to put my perfume there. So he said whenever he misses me, he misses me all the time, but he could always bring out this towel to his nose, and then he kept it on the bed so he could always have it with him. You can exchange some things. It does not necessarily mean you can exchange t-shirts, you can buy some gifts, but make sure it has something of you that will remind him. So that is it. The last point I want to make, which I think is the most important one in all relationship, be it you're with this person or you're in long distance, is stay committed. Yes, staying committed is a way to spice up your relationship. Also, commitment is a way to make your partner keep coming back. You are not doing anybody a favor by staying committed in your relationship. I feel like cheating has to do with a lot of strength, because when you're cheating, you have divided attention, and this doesn't go well in long distance relationship because you're not giving your all, your 100% in the relationship. So be 100% committed in your relationship. That way your mind and your soul, your body is in it, and you will try as much as you can to make things work. You are seeing when you're falling out, you're seeing when things are not well, and you try and put it in shape. But when you have divided attention, it's really, really difficult for you to find out, for you to spot where something is wrong in your relationship. So stay committed, and your relationship will go really well, and you will see the end results will be perfectly. That's it. Let me add up this. Long distance relationship is never easy, especially when you're on the run and you don't know when it will end. Sometimes you can project that you want to stay 1 year, 5 months in a relationship. Perhaps things don't normally go the way we plan, because during me and my husband, we planned that it was gonna be like 3 months, 4 months. But guess what? We spent 2 years, and none of that was our plan. Sometimes it's based on visa delays, some circumstances, some things, and in that way you cannot be with each other. Just know that you have to be strong, and you have to give it your all. You have to try all you can to make it work. It's not for the weak. Believe me, my 2 years in long distance relationship is the most difficult part of my life, and I will tell you that surviving it, I can succeed in any part of things life through me. But I am happy for that journey. I am happy for that part of my life. I am so happy that I experience it and see life in another way, and I am fully prepared in this life that even no matter what happens, and I am not with my partner, I trust him 100% as much as he trusts me 100%, that nothing will happen, and we are fully prepared in this life. So make sure that you build it. No one will do it for you. And above all, make sure that you have a quality conversation. Make sure that you stand out from other people. Make sure that you have something to offer, in the sense you have tangible topic, you have reasonable topics to talk about in a relationship. Sometimes that is what keeps your relationship, even also in your marriage, that is what keeps it alive. When you have things to offer, be truthful with yourself, be intense with your conversation, know the kind of conversation you hold, have something, let it be meaningful, not just you're talking from morning to night, but what can someone pick out from your conversation? That is one thing that you have to have at the back of your mind, that your conversation is what differentiates you from other people. So Make sure you're having a quality conversation and not just a quantity conversation. Does that even make sense? Yes, it does. Not how long you talk, but how well you talk. So I hope this video is helpful to you, and if you find it interesting, please give it a like, a thumbs up, and share it also to as many as you think that need this type of video. So I'm gonna see you in my next video, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't done that. Thanks for watching at the end. Bye. I'll see you.